Okay. Seems like everything's recording, everything's good. I have the script, or the lack thereof. Alright guys, Cadus is out today, so today is the Pyro's turn to play with the podcast. Today we have a few phrases we're going to be going over, 5 total. We don't really have much else planned other than that, so after that, it's probably going to be a word of the wise on the pew pew related variety. So I'm going to just jump right into it. So the first one that we're going to have today is "It's over there," and it's going to be pronounced "Beek Jeon Ogir." It's over there. Next one is going to be "Where can I find ... insert noun there. Where can I find is Vai Lisai Ni Ma'ir. Are they here? Kuir Val Olar. Kuir Val Olar. Have you seen... insert noun here. Kuir Val... soup. Nope. Take that back. Scratch that. Fuck. I swear I'm sober. Ugh. Next one down. It's Ganar Gar Ruhar. It's Ganar Gar Ru Har Taylor. And then the last one we had planned for today is "What should I be planting?" What should I be planting is Magru. Magru Kir Ni Kuyer Tug for Pan. So, didn't have any other further lessons or anything for today other than just the phrases. So, we're going to get into a little bit of guns today. And today, since I got to go get some new stuff, very excited about it. Many of us are probably of the poor variety, which is perfectly fine. You just need to do your research on things that are budget friendly. So, one of the things I'm actually going to go and review today, I'm going to be going to the range and baptizing, essentially, this Taurus G3C. So they came out with a Generation 4 already, and I'm kind of mad because it's a lot smaller. It'd be an easier compact carry gun. I mean, it's a lot smaller. Holy fuck. And I'm going to put 100 rounds through this gun, and I'm going to see how reliable it is, how many malfunctions I have, obviously get it to break its break-in period. And because one thing I've been told is that Taurus is not as shit as they claim it to be. They being the rest of the gun community. This has been a gun that, especially for like single women and mothers, have been buying up a lot lately. I guess Taurus has been making it so most of their G3Cs now are optics slide cut. So, right out of the factory, not only do you get a red dot, but you also have the slide cut for the optics. So I thought that was pretty neat. I got 3 mags with it, and it's the slide's a little gritty at first. Of course, every gun's gonna have its break-in period, so the more you lube it up, shoot it, have fun with it. I'm going to see how it deals straight out of the box, and I'll be certain to let the Vode in the server know all about it and see if it's actually worth it or if it's literally just $300 of shit. Next one I got was an SKS, so I got an old Chinese one. It was a Type 56, and so I'm going to be running just 40 rounds through that one because I'm sure that one's been baptized over and over and over and over again. And we're just going to have some fun with that and just make sure it still shoots. And the last one I had is an Henry AR7. That one's going to be baptized with 200 rounds because .22 is cheap as shit. Yeah, that's pretty much that. So we promote a lot of get training, get fit, grow food, be armed all the time. And one of the things that I would probably push people to start thinking about is, it doesn't matter if you don't have a whole lot of ammunition, getting just a box of it. And if you're really wanting to conserve ammunition while also stockpiling, but you still want to hit range, all you really need to do is work on dry firing at home, go to the range, and work on your trigger discipline. You work on dealing with recoil. You work on a lot of us new shooters, myself included, probably are going to experience shooting low and to the left. So in order to fix that, you're going to have to play with your trigger a bit and see what part of your finger needs to be on that trigger in order for you to essentially not be doing that. So you're gonna have to fuck around with it a little bit, but once you have that on cue and you inspect how you're pulling the trigger, and it's not going to the right and it's not going to the left, and it's just staying put, that's your sweet spot. So that's how you want to be. That's how you want to be pulling the trigger. So you can mess around with that for a little while, and then once you go to the range and you're able to put targets on, and your groupings are at least acceptable to your eyes for now. Obviously, you're probably gonna have a bit more of an intensive training day at the range to improve anything, but once you're at an acceptable parameters, whatever those may be, you're gonna want to preserve your ammunition. And what one of my guys does back home in Minnesota, he goes down to the range, he pulls out his handgun, he makes the target go all the way down, and he'll shoot it as he goes down, and he shoots it when it's coming back up. And obviously it's a moving target thing, so as something's advancing towards you, or it's running away, you can shoot it and see how your grouping is looking. So yeah, just the most he probably shoots is probably a whole mag, and that's the 10 to 15 rounds, and calls it a day. Drives a lot of people nuts, but honestly, if you're trying to conserve ammo, as long as you know you can get your groupings in and you're hitting the target, that should suffice for now. If you're working on to conserve your ammunition, we don't know when the prices are going to drop, and if you have a laser fired dry fire system, that'll be great to do most of the week until you go to your actual range day, which I would encourage people to at least do twice a month, maybe twice a month every 2 weeks. If you can't do that, then please at least once a month. You have to stay proficient with handgun. Rifle, it's fucking easy. Anybody can do rifle. Iron sights, optics, doesn't matter. Anybody can do rifle. Handgun is a different beast, and you do need to train on that a lot more. So, and then, of course, YouTube will always be your friend with dry fire drills, and as well as live fire drills. So there's plenty of content out there to figure out how you want to train yourself to be more proficient. Any of those drills will do. Having a little timer and everything will also help. Because the whole point is to be accurate and eventually be quick about it. So slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And so in order for you to get fast, you need to start slow. Just put a few rounds down, start counting in your head. Work on even tactical reloads. So one's still in the chamber, you haven't finished off the mag, but the mag itself is physically empty. Drop the mag, put a new one in, you don't have to rack it, and you just keep going. You're going to have to learn about your gun. You're going to have to learn about how much your capacity is at. You have to remember that. You have to be conscious of that while you're shooting. And that'll it'll make you improve greatly. So, tactical reloads are a real thing. If you're just going to shoot to have fun and do target practice and everything, that's fine. If you're just going like me over there, I'm gonna get a few targets. I'm gonna try doing doing a couple drills. I'm gonna try and work on my shooting leaning low and to the left today, as well as making sure that this gun can handle at least 100 rounds through it. Because this is the one that I did intend to use as my compact carry gun. I'm a fat guy, and right now I have a full size and a shoulder holster. I'm sure other people can relate. Shit hurts around the waist. Even skinny guys say fucking shit hurts around the waist. So I got federal ammunition and whatever this is. It's Monarch. I don't know what the fuck that is, but okay. Just got some cheap shit from the shop and two bricks of Browning 22, and 22 itself is a good trainer. Not a whole lot of recoil, if any at all. It's great to teach your kids. It's great to introduce people into shooting, because you know, one of the biggest things for people that don't like guns is that, you know, they complain that they're too loud. So if you want to get someone on board with it, you're going to have to show them something that really isn't that loud. Give them hearing protection, help them build their confidence, and you'll be surprised they actually have a really good time. So that's some advice in case you have family that you feel like they should be armed and they opt to not be. So you have to approach them as delicately as you would a child with this, unfortunately, because many adults have proven time and time again that they are just giant fucking children. So
some of us also choose not to be armed for other reasons.
Oh, that's also true. You're right. I guess I was speaking more towards my experience with my family. Now, yes, there's some people that some people just opt to not. It's in my eyes, it's a Second Amendment thing, you know, right? Like, not only is it your right to carry a firearm, but it's also your right, the opposite, to not associate. So, if you have one, the opposite's also true.
For me, it's more of don't trust myself.
That's perfectly fine.
But that is a mental thing that I am working on.
Correct. And so, for those of you that are in the same situation, you're going to have to figure out how to work in your confidence to trust in yourself around firearms. And so you're probably going to have to do it under someone else's supervision. And so unfortunately you'll be the person in that case that's going to be trained by hopefully someone that actually knows what the hell they're doing. So you'll have to do it every now and then, build up your confidence to go and get one yourself as long as you're legally able to. And yeah. And so I guess guns is really the only big thing I had, so oh, and good news is you what?
I can give some advice about knives.
Oh, please go ahead.
Well, okay. So I had actually last week screwed up on one of the knives I was working on, and as I was buffing it, really took a chunk out of the blade.
How did you take a chunk out of it?
I was buffing it. It pulled out of my hand and smashed in on the buffing wheel and took a decent chunk out of the blade itself.
Jesus.
Fortunately, my coworker fixed it for me because I got frustrated and I just set it down and didn't fuck with it for the rest of the day. It was a pretty meaty blade.
Right.
He had just ground it down to where the break had happened, and then I had ended up getting some diamond whetstones. And yesterday, actually, I had just finished sharpening that. And word of advice when sharpening, keep fingers away from the blade even when you're drying the blade from water. Because that blade is no longer a virgin.
The blade is no longer a virgin.
I speak from experience, it's sharp. That, and not all things that break are hopeless.
But I sure as fuck
always,
am.
You're broke. That's a money problem.
Yes, I am a poor.
I can't say shit. I am too.
But yeah, especially when you got kids in your family, 22 shooters are certainly gospel in that regard, and training them how to respect and handle firearms and everything. So, and knives are essential. They're utilitarian. They've got plenty of uses, and having a good survival knife in your kit is almost an absolute must. So, I would say almost, because sometimes people will opt to carry some other type of blades, the folding saws and hatchets. What else have you? Having something sharp is absolutely paramount. So,
it's not a weapon; it is a tool.
But it's also a weapon.
Yes, but as a person who sits there and makes them and sells them, we've had people. Oh, you got weapons? No, they are tools. Because a knife is not just a weapon; it is a tool used for multiple things.
Yeah, culinary, fucking carving. It's a sharp tool you're using for cutting. Whatever needs cutting needs cutting. So, people use it for bushcraft. People use it for, kitchen uses.
Fishing.
Yep, fishing. Oh yeah. So anything that needs cut will definitely be cut. It doesn't have to pertain a person in that regard.
In a pinch, if you trust your blade and it's strong enough, makes a good screwdriver.
That's also true.
I have done that multiple times. Not gonna lie.
I don't know, I use the butt of mine for a hammer sometimes.
Yeah, if you have a strong enough handle. Yeah.
It's a heavy knife.
Oh, true. I have a survival knife sitting right next to me at all times.
Yeah, the Rothko makes those old fucking bayonet knives, the survival knives. Oh my god.
Mine's actually a Gordon.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of those made in China ones that I would consider a shit knife. It's not that strong. Its temper is It's machined, but it gets the job done.
Right. I have to do some YouTube videos on learning how to not shoot low and to the left, because I'm already fucking around with the trigger and I'm already having trouble finding the sweet spot. So, today's gonna be an interesting range day, but I'll get some targets. See if I can't get a decent grouping with 40 rounds of 5.5, or sorry, not 5.56. I'm not taking my AR out. 7.62, since I've got the Chinese SKS, and I'm going to blow through 200 rounds of fucking 22. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. Going to love it. It's fantastic. I just don't know what to eat for breakfast.
You sound so happy and disappointed at the same time.
I am... to be fair, I was hoping to get a newer gun, right? So, the SKS was just because it was surplus and it was in one of the stores. What ended up happening was I was going to get a Ruger Ranch rifle. It was 7.62 bolt action, beautiful looking gun, and chambered 7.62, and I was about to pick it up, or I was about to order it the 31st, but the shop that I went to had there's been a spree of people trying to do smash and grabs from inside gun stores. So basically what they've been doing, taking their cars, driving through the doors, and trying to break the glass open to get handguns. They didn't care about the fucking rifles. They cared about the handguns. Which I thought was weird because the rifles are under less security than the handguns are. Like, the glass that they're using is bulletproof. And so, like, I'm just kind of sitting here thinking...
Ammunition is easier to come by?
Well, handgun ammunition is easier to come by, but, like, they didn't grab any ammunition. They didn't grab anything. They went straight for the handguns. They didn't get a damn one. So, it was really weird. They were shut down, so I went, and I still wanted... Money was burning a hole in my pocket. I'm a poor. It happens. And so I went to, like, a Rural King. I fucking love Rural Kings. And they had the Taurus G3C, which I was still wanting to get anyways. They had a Ruger. I think there was a ranch rifle, but it was in 450 Bushmaster, something like that. And I was disappointed. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I wanted 7.62, goddammit. And so I got the Henry AR7 because I did want a 22 anyways. I was like, okay, I'll get my 7.62 later. And then I went to another gun shop to see if they had the Ruger Ranch rifle. They had a Ruger Ranch rifle, but I guess it was one of those other weird fucking calibers I had never fucking heard of. And so I said, nah, do you have any surplus rifles? And they said, we have an M1 carbine, and that one is $1,300. Or we have a Norinco SKS for 400-ish, 425-ish. And I was like, boy, I want that Norinco because it's a fucking 7.62s. And they were like, all right, come back in 3 days. Went back in 3 days. Yesterday, picked up my shit. And I'm a happy boy. So...
That M1 sounds nice, but...
Oh, I know someone that can get me cheaper ones back home in Minnesota. They have a CNR program, and so I'll be working through them to hopefully get one for like $600 to $800. So, because I do want one of those. I do want to collect some surplus guns, even some handguns. So I want to get a Makarov. And I want to get a Soviet 1911 knockoff, the fucking Tokarev. So,
honestly, if I had my choice, regardless, I still like firearms.
Right.
I would like to have a Luger.
The old Lugers are pretty fucking sexy, I'm not going to lie. The one handgun I'm probably going to upgrade from my Taurus from eventually is going to be the P365 SAS. So the SIG SAS gun has this amazing fucking feature. Literally any other gun I held that day did not fucking compare because there's no iron sights. There's no optics mount. So the optic that you use is actually closer to the barrel. It sits in the slide. It's physically in the slide. And it's got this green ring and it's got a little green dot. So basically you have a green dot optic closer to the barrel, and you just you aim with that like you would a fucking red dot. It's fantastic. I love it. It's great. It's small. It's less top heavy, and I think it's got a fairly good balance all the way around. So that's a gun that I would recommend people check out for handguns. And the toughest time you'll ever have is learning how to accurately use your handgun. Not to mention shopping around to find one that's going to be reliable enough for you to use. Not to mention you also have to take into account how expensive are the parts to fix said gun in case something breaks. I've already had to do it once with my Glock 19. Talked about it very many times. I upgraded to a Shadow Systems I got a Shadow Systems firing pin assembly, so I'm not going to be fucking around with that one at the range today. I'm just going to go over there with my Taurus, the AR7, and my SKS and call it a day. I'm not looking to be there for super long. I'm looking just to like fucking start spraying and praying, while also working on my accuracy with my Taurus, because I know I can get groupings in with an SKS. I can do iron sights on a rifle. It's not that hard to fucking figure out. I've got 40 rounds to do it in, and my AR-7 should not be a problem either. So, and it's a Sunday, so I think I'll be pretty lucked out on the not a whole lot of people available at the range kind of a thing. It's probably going to be deserted mostly. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to have a fun time. I'm just shooting my ammo too, so I don't have to carry it with me going back to Minnesota. So
don't have to work Monday. You got Monday off too.
Yeah, I don't have to work, but Monday, that entire week, I'm going to be packing and getting ready to go. So, yeah, exciting stuff.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. As soon as I get home, though, I have to get a job, and I'm looking to get into concrete work, I guess. It's either that or go to the post office, one or the other. I'm still waiting on the mother of my nieces to get back to me and say, hey, we got a fucking job opening over at the concrete place. So I was like, sweet. So, yeah.
See, I would say Lock Supply isn't a bad company to work for, but I believe they're not in Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't want to actually leave the state. I've got my concealed carry insurance, which is another thing you should shop around for. The longer I've been with USCCA, the less I like their services. Like, most of it's kind of just priced for a fucking magazine they send you. Not that I don't appreciate the magazine, but, like, I need criminal and civil defense. Last time I checked, and I could be wrong, it could have changed, but USCCA's Delta Defense stuff did not have the civil variety of protection legally. So if you find yourself in a situation, you beat the criminal charges, but now the family's suing you, you're going to want to shop around for whatever one you want. I know PSA has a company now called Right to Bear. There's US Law Shield. There's a few others out there. So, like, carry insurance you don't need to have it, but it's a big recommendation, honestly, and it does not cost all that much. And you do get some benefits for doing so. So, yeah, you're gonna have to. It's only because legally throughout the United States, courts are not friendly towards gun owners. Period. So, have fun with that. Stay strapped, get clapped. Whew. What should I eat for food this morning? I should probably have some meat. I have some roast beef cuts in gravy, so I can probably just heat that up. I also have potatoes. I have loaded potatoes. So it's either loaded potatoes or I'm going to go get my roast beef in gravy. So I might need some extra carbs and everything because I'm going to be going to the gym too. So, I mean, like, the potatoes might be the best route. And it does have a little bit of protein in it, but, like, I'll probably snack on some ham and everything before I go. I've got some Black Forest ham and everything that I snack on before I go to the gym. It's good shit, good shit. Fat and protein, fat and protein. Ham's got a lot of fucking fat in it. So. Whew. One of these days I am going to be getting my pistol caliber carbine out to the range too, because I had to fix the firing pin on it and make sure that it actually works. I have a Romeo Zero on it, and it's a shitty optic. Don't ever buy it. Don't ever buy it. It's hot garbage. but I'm gonna see if it'll actually hold 0 at least for a little bit for me. If not, I'm gonna take that sucker off and put the other optic I have. It's a little flip up red dot. It's actually kind of cute, and I'll see which one works better. And like, granted, like I'm not expecting this one to be an everyday carry gun, so like this is gonna be a fuck around at the range mostly. So it doesn't need to be super accurate. I just need to fuck around with it and see what works and what doesn't. So, man, I'm already hungry. My stomach's growling and everything. Need to fucking put those potatoes in the thing and eat some fucking potatoes. I think I'm sold on the potatoes. I think I'm really sold on the potatoes. Now I'm only thinking of food. Ugh.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm only thinking of food. What state are you in, Kando?
Oklahoma.
You're in Oklahoma? Okay, so you're in a gun-friendly state anyway, so anytime you choose to actually go out and do it, I'm sure someone will take you there.
The wonderful thing is I have 2 brothers that carry.
Okay.
Have multiple firearms. I've been to the range a few times.
Okay, fair enough.
The
more you do it, the more you'll get comfortable. Like, because like for me, I know you said yes, you have your own issues with it. For me, it did take some getting used to holding guns, even handguns. Rifles, I never had a problem with, but it was handguns I always had a problem because, like, you know, it's smaller, a lot of more things can go wrong, and I kept telling myself, like, I have to be careful with this fucking thing. And it's just getting it in your hands, holding it constantly, and fucking around with it. Literally play with your shit.
Doing this, the knife making, the blacksmithing, it is helping my mental health.
Well, you're creating something, and you're creating something useful.
Yeah, it's one. We started doing this, and it was just entertaining for us to do because it actually started out as a hobby, and now it's actually becoming a job that we all enjoy doing. And
right.
Damn it! It's an outlet, outlet that I can, one, get out my anger, get out frustration, and also work on the depression, I guess is the best way to put it.
I think maybe one of the routes that you could probably go is getting a handgun, but never putting ammunition in it, so you just get used to carrying that thing around. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I'm not in your position. But just carrying around my handgun with no ammunition around and fucking around with it helps a whole lot in confidence. So
But on that note, I am broke.
That's fair. Yeah, no. You just take care of what you need to. Don't worry about it too much. As long as you're armed and you're within 10 hits, you're good. Yeah, like, you make knives, and that's last I checked, that's part of it. So
I mean, I always carry a knife. It's part of my work loadout. Boots, pants, belt, knife.
Yep. Actually, I'm probably gonna cut the recording here, and it'll save, and I'm gonna make some potatoes, and I'm gonna see what time the shop opens for getting targets. I think Rule King is open now. Yeah, they're open.
I've just been playing Destiny, trying to get caught up to Cadus.
Fuck.